Hey, this is Michelle Diva. I am bringing you another episode of The Shy. It is season 6, episode 13, The Legacy. All right, so Victor gets bonded out by Jake, who he said he had a bag full of money outside of his apartment, and so we all know who that came from, Duda. Yeah, but he got bonded out and he's on house arrest. And Alonzo said he had to put his house up as well for collateral. Little Ronnie got sickle cell disease. I told you he had sickle cell disease. They can run a battery of tests for his sickle cell disease. Yeah, so he got sickle cell disease, and then they did the DNA test because she got the DNA from Fatima for his father, and they did the DNA test, and they said that Lil Ronnie is not the kidnapper's baby because his DNA doesn't have the sickle cell trait, and so they found out that Nook, Duda's boy, was his baby, Lil Ronnie's baby. But I can't understand why they didn't think that that they thought that Lil Ronnie's was the kidnapper baby, because the kidnapper's baby was very dark skinned, and Keisha's very dark skinned, and the baby's light skinned, and Nook is light skinned. So whatever the case may be, Lil Ronnie is Nook's baby, not the kidnapper's baby. Bianca is throwing a little private birthday party for Duda, trying to make up for her comments to Tiffany about their relationship being transactional. So she got a bunch of candles. She's in her lingerie and everything like that. And she was like, "Hey, happy birthday!" And he was like, "I want to be alone." I said, "Ooh, why you do that? Do that?" So Rosalind, we ain't seen Rosalind since last season. Little Candy Burris. She makes an appearance at Smokeys. And she was like, "What happened here?" She was like, "It was used to be the spot." And then she was like, "And who are you?" And Damien was like, "I'm Damien. I'm Emmett's brother." And, and so Emmett come out talking about, "You my half brother," and Damien's like, "Get that up, okay?" Anyway, so Rosalind was like, "Well, we gonna have to, get something going on here. We know y'all should give away free food." And Dom, who was Lala, she's like, "And who gonna cook that free food?" And so Candy was like, well, Rosalind was like, "Oh, you a sight for sore eyes." And then and so she go back into the kitchen, and then she was like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "I'm Jamal." He was like, "I got this job, at Smokeys, because of Duda." He was like, he was like, "But I'm giving my life to God," and everything like that. And so Candy was like, "Ah." Then she point to this other lady, but her back was turned to her, and she was like, "And who are you?" And so Dom was like, "This is my cousin Serena. She is deaf. She can't hear you." And so then she touches her, and she jumps, and she was like, "I don't mean to scare you, but and so then she was like, she said, "Well, I can read your lips if you quit mumbling." And Candy does mumble, and I think that's what they put that in there for, because she's known to be mumbling and talking, like, yeah, she's known for doing that. So I think they put that in there on purpose. Anyway, And so she said, "Oh, you can." Serena said, "You can learn sign language." And so Rosalind was like, "Well, can you teach me sign language?" So I guess she hitting on this little stud lesbian. Go girl. So anyway, um, so let me see. I'm still laughing on them bringing up Candy's mumbling. Anyway, so Pastor Zeke wants Papa to charge for his podcast, because he all about the money. And apparently Pastor Zeke is in Duda's pocket too, because later on in the episode, uh, Pastor Zeke saying that, you're going to have to pay me more money. And Duda was like, no, I'm not going to pay you no more money and everything like that. And so he was like, well, that basically he was like, you gonna give me more money, or we ain't gonna do business. And Duda don't take the threats like that. And so he choked him up. Put the cigar on his neck, burnt him. So I guess he said, okay, I'm a listening now. Victor and Fatima broke up. Anyway, Bakari gets a laptop from Professor Gardner, better known as Dwayne Wayne. I'm so happy for him. Damien goes over the books at Smokeys. He was like, Emmett, it's way more money that can't be allotted for. What's the problem? And he was like, well, you need to just make that go away. He said, I can make that go away temporarily. He said, but you're gonna have to do something. He said, what you want me to do? He said, you need to cut ties with Duda, because he said, I know Duda is an investor. He said, you either need to cut ties with Duda, or you need to kill Duda. So Emmett was like, I've already tried the second one. And I couldn't complete it, basically. So he was like, well, I'm going to have a talk with Duda. Good. Okay. So Duda visits Victor. And he was like, okay, so I bonded you out. Did you talk? And he was like, no, I didn't talk. And he was like, good. So he said, well, you keep your mouth shut, everything will be okay. And Victor was like, it better be. I thought, oh, Victor, you trying to be whore and stuff. And Gemma, Marcus, and Tierra is taking family Christmas card pictures. Well, it's supposed to be on the Christmas card, but Marcus just thought it was just family pictures. And so then Tierra was like, so we'll send these out for Christmas cards. And he was like, no, I thought we was just taking it for the house. And she was like, no, we gonna send some Christmas cards out. And so he was like, I wasn't expecting that. And so she was like, well, what you want from me? You don't want everybody to know that, I'm your girl and stuff like that. And so she mad. She stormed out. So, Duda his boys are making a toast to him because it's his birthday and stuff like that. So Bakari gonna make a little slick comment about, you got his foot on everybody's neck and all that other stuff. And Duda was like, what you say? And and Bakari was like, happy birthday. And so Duda grabbed the laptop and throw it down and break it. And, why? First of all, Bakari, why were you doing it? That laptop should have been at the house. point blank period. Okay, that way he couldn't throw it up until he got to your house. So you don't, that laptop should have been at your house. That laptop should have been at your house and not at Duda's place. So he couldn't tear it up. That's your fault. Alonzo wants Victor. Alonzo, better known as JT from the Five Heartbeats, and Leon, he wants Victor to take a plea deal because they really want Duda. They don't really want Victor. They want Duda. And so he said you can go back to be a councilman and they give you protection and all that other stuff. But Victor was like, I ain't snitching. I don't blame him. So Damien goes to talk to Duda. Damien, Emmett's brother, goes to talk to Duda about his books. And he said, I can, work your books for you. He said, because I don't want my brother to go to jail. And he said, well, if he get arrested, I'll bail him out. He said, no, this is the IRS. They handle stuff differently. That's the truth. Papa's gonna charge for his podcast. I guess Pastor Zeke put it in his heart to change to charge for his podcast. Alonzo pulls up on Duda. He says, stay away from my family. And Duda was like, who are you? And he said, Alicia is my ex-wife and I am Rob's father. And he was like, well, Duda was like, tell him to stay away from me. He said, they don't take orders from me. And Duda was like, oh, you not the man of the house? And Alonzo was like, I don't live there anymore. And he said, oh, but you still trying to protect him. He said, yeah, that's what a real man does. I said, oh, I know you didn't, Alonzo. So, but then Duda's boy, Zay, kills Alonzo. Oh, it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart because I still wanted to see JT on the screen. I really did. It hurt my heart if they killed Pastor Gardner too. Professor Gardner too, because I wanted to see him on my screen too. Anyway, so Alonzo go to Alicia's house, and Rashad comes to the door, and he was like, "Is that my leather jacket?" The leather jacket that Alicia gave to Rashad to that leather shaft jacket. But so Alicia was like, well, you're not here anymore. You aren't using it. And so then he was like, I'm coming to see my son. And so he said, she was like, Alicia was like, you not coming to see me? And he was like, no, but you are still beautiful. And he kissed her on the cheek, and she got a little hot for him. And then he leaves, and then Rashad was like, you give me another man's jacket. And he threw the jacket down. And so she was like, I'm just trying to up your status and all that other stuff. And he was like, you try to turn me into him. And so, and then, they argue a bit, and then it gets a little physical. And then apparently Alicia likes that. And so, who knows what they did after that. So, Bakari says to Jake, because they were at a little get-together, it looked like a house party. He said, Duda found out that I was writing a book. And so Jake was like, were you writing a book? He said, yeah. He said, but I don't know how Duda found out. And so he said, well, who did you tell? He said, I told, he said, Professor Gardner, Lene, and he said, and Brittany. And he said, and he was like, listen, he said, Brittany seems a little shady, so you should look at her. And he was like, that my sister? He said, yeah, but she seemed a little shady. That's basically it. So, we all know who said it. So, anyway, so then Victor is uh, doing his men's circle with his ankle bracelet on because so they all had to come to his house because he can't leave the house because he on house arrest. So it was Victor, Emmett, Darnell, Rashad, Marcus, and Rob. And so it was Rob's first time being at the men's circle. He said that he was trying to get closer to his dad. And after that, then his dad passes away. Oh, that still hurt my feelings. So, but he said he was trying to get closer to his dad. He was good, and so Victor was like, I thank him for all he has done, and he was like, yeah, he's a good lawyer, but he wasn't a good dad. Emmett said, Nook, Doodle's boy is Keisha's baby daddy. And so everybody was like, oh, he said, how you feel about that? And he was just like, I don't know how I feel about it. And, so Victor said him and Fatima broke up. And they want, Alonzo wants him to take a plea deal. And everybody was like, oh, he was like, and then Emmett was like, maybe you should do it because they won't do the. And they were like, if he takes the plea deal, then he dead. And so, but he was like, Emmett, he said, Duda is going to kill all of us one by one, period. So I guess they thinking about it. And Marcus Gemma's dad saying that Tierra's mad because he, didn't want these pictures being sent out, these Christmas cards being sent out. And so they were like, and he was like, do you love her? He said, yeah, I think I love her. And he was like, well, he said, well, women would like to be claimed. And so he was like, yeah, I guess so. So we'll figure that out. Gemma is uncomfortable with the open relationship between her and Jake. So we'll figure out what's going to happen with that. Rosalind pulls up to pick up Serena from work so that she could teach her sign language and some other stuff. Dom and Jamal, they look like they about to hit it in Smokeys. So they look like they about to smash in Smokeys. So Rosalind and Serena probably about to smash, and Dom and Jamal about to smash. Anyway, and then LaPortia, who is AKA the brat, and she is pregnant too. So we know when this was filmed. Yeah. She goes to visit Kevin's mom. I forgot what Kevin's mom's name was. It's gonna come to me. But Kevin's mom, she goes to visit them because her and Dre broke up. And so she was like, how me and Dre broke up? She said, you took all her pictures off your social media. So I said, yeah, well, that's a good way to know that they broke up. And so she come to smash, but she was like, we can't do that. And so she was just like, well, let me know when we can. Oh boy, I love it. Anyway, so that was the episode. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like and subscribe. Where my thumbs up at? Oh, I can't get my thumbs up. There you go. Share, like, and subscribe. This Miss Yellow Diva signing off. Peace.